Okay, hi friends, it is me. I'm back. It's a new week. Let's use my phone and find today's weekly string first off. Let's see, do I have a piece of paper I can use to put the string on? I'm not well organized today, but you know, you guys shouldn't be too surprised with that. Let's see, string number 74. Let's see what that is. Huh, interesting. Okay, so string 74 looks like this. I'm going to grab my pen. Scoot that over so you can see it. Scoot my paper in the viewfinder. It is like that. And one about here, and one about here, and one about there. String number 74. So if I want to use a string, that's an option. I'm going to leave it aside next to me so that in case there's a pattern that decide that I need a string for, that's what I'm going to do. Go back to the home page, go to pattern focus to find today's pattern. I have not even had a chance to even look at the names for this week. Let's see. This week we're going to do Dahlidrop, feather, triangle, ribbon, fish in the sea, flip down, L, abreve, 3D blocked screen, and Cataline. Have not looked at any of those, so let's give this a try. To Dahlidrop. It's the first one. This one is by Ellen Walters. The green is pencil in the step outs on this website. Green is pencil. I know that in official Zentangle world we don't use a string like that. It's okay. We're not official in any way, shape, or form. So it looks like the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw like two circles, like a target. And then this outer one is going to be in pencil, a little bit bigger around. And I guess that's just so that your petal-like shapes can be, you know, uniform around. So then we're going to make like a heart-like shape that way and this way. We can do that. And then across this way as well. And then fill in until we have that. So we're going to do two here, and then fill in the middle. And they're all going to be sort of heart-like shapes. You'll notice they're not all the same. It's okay. They don't have to be, you don't have to draw perfect. Honestly, you don't. Then from where the heart kind of dips down, and I noticed that this is not like a hard, usually when I draw a heart, it's a hard thing. This is more of a swoopy, more like a up and then a U, more smooth. Okay. In the middle of that, to the middle of the next one, we're going to do an arch all the way around. And then at the bottom of that movement, I'm going to make it like a teardrop. And then in here, we can do these little arches like that. So we're aiming for this shape. And then here is a bit of artwork showing that. And I don't know if anybody else has drawn this pattern. I didn't look. Yes, somebody else has drawn this pattern. I don't know whose page this is. I'm assuming it's Ellen's. This is Ellen Walters is the original designer, and that looks like her sample, so that's probably her page. Yeah, so if you want to watch somebody else's video besides mine, feel free. And let's just give this a go. I'm going to zoom out here. I'm going to put my hand. I'm going to turn on my light so everybody can see. Get myself a piece of paper. I think I don't have much paper left. You know, at the end of last week, I didn't have very many pieces left. I needed to cut some, and I still have yet to do that. So we're left with whatever pages I have left. I'm going to give myself just a little border just so I don't get too close to the edge. And do I want to use that string for this week? Could. Let's do that. Let's put one here. Let's put one here. Let's put one here using this string. I'm going to start with that one. Okay. Zoom you guys in a little so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm used string 74, and here's my string lines. There, there, and there. And that helped guide my composition. I've decided that I'm going to have these sort of like lollipop shapes using this tangle. So in the middle here, I'm going to do a circle, and then I'm going to do another one around like that, like a target. And then coming up here, I'm going to make this heart-like shape like that, and down this way like that. And like that. And then I'm going to do in here. Okay, perfect. So far so good. And then what's next? You could just leave it just like that if you want. Or you could use that as the basis for something else. I think I'm going to do this arch, but I'm also going to make this as part of this, just so you see. Okay, so it's this, and then on the next step there's this loop. I'm going to do it as part of this whole thing. I'm going to do it come around and down and up like that. Just so I have fewer moves to do. Like that. I'm not very, my curves got really wonky, but that's okay. I'm fine with it. And then the sample has us just doing the lines here. I'm not sure that's how I want to do them. Matter of fact, I'm not sure I want those lines there at all. So I'm going to leave them out for the moment. I'm going to leave them out for the moment. Okay. So then here, I want my next one. You're going to see some of this. Most of that's tucked under this first one. And then this is like this. That does make a more consistent arch. Doing what I did before made my arches weird. So I guess there's a reason why the step out had it going that way. I know. I should always just follow the step out on the first time around, because there's a reason. It's actually easier to draw it the original way, but you know, I gotta always do my own thing. Now remember, if you're new to my channel or you're not been paying attention, which some people don't, I am not a CZT. I'm not a Zentangle teacher. I follow along with the daily prompts, the daily pattern challenges in pattern-collections.com and over at Tangle It Pattern Club on Facebook. And 99% of the patterns that come out for the daily pattern, I have never looked at, never tried. I've never seen it before. Before the moment that I turn on my my phone. So I'm not really teaching you how to draw these patterns. What I'm doing is I'm showing you how I learn each pattern, which is a completely different thing than being a teacher. I know it seems like I'm teaching, and I guess I kind of will say the tips and tricks that I've learned along the way as I go. You know, things that I've learned as drawing patterns, and things how I've observed that I need to do something because my brain needs it that way. Or my hand needs it that way. Some particular shapes, I know that I really need to draw them going a certain direction. I can't do them going backwards. Like this shape here is really not bad coming up and over and down. I would think I would have a harder time going this way with it. It's just the way my muscle memory works, and so, you know, I go for it. I go with it. But I am not really setting out to teach a pattern. I really am not. It's kind of how it evolved, but that's not my goal. My goal for my channel, for those who are fairly new, because I know I've gained a lot of new people and had this question come up again. My goal for creating this channel was, there were so many people in our group, our Facebook group, who were intimidated and said they were new, they had no idea what they were doing, they can't draw a stick figure. All those things that you tell yourself that you can't do, that you've already told yourself that you're an awful drawer before you even pick up a pen, which is a horrible thing to do to yourself. Be honest. I hate that. I'm going to make these little loops instead of big loops. decided they're going to be little. Yeah, so I started by just, somebody said, well, how do you draw that? They saw one of my drawings in the group, and they said, well, how did you draw that? Because I can't figure out how to do it right. And so I had put one of, I'm gonna do this. Decided it wants this. I put one of my drawings in the group on Facebook, not on YouTube. And then people said, well, you should put that on YouTube so we can find it again later, because everything always gets lost on Facebook, and they're pretty much accurate with that. Things do get lost on Facebook. And so I thought, okay, I'll go ahead and put it on YouTube. And then at about the same time, Ina was developing her website, pattern-collections.com. She had already done some of her ebooks, Tangle It, and the Tangle It Planner. And the Tangle It Planner is actually a physical book. Buy that on Amazon, or through her website. There are links connected to pattern-collections.com. You can find them. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, to this story, is that Ina was starting the beginner lessons, because we were all encountering the same thing. There were a lot of beginners who had no idea what to do or how to get started. And so she thought that she would create some beginner lessons. And I thought, well, since I was having this experience with the new people in the group, that I would follow along with her lessons. And that's where I got started, is I started following along with her beginner lessons. If you haven't seen that, there's a playlist. Just click on my channel and click on playlists, and you will find the beginner lessons there. It's probably near, you have to scroll back pretty far, because it was like the first thing I did. So it's, almost 2 years ago. But, yeah, that's where I started. I just started following along with her playlist and giving my tips and tricks and the things that I've learned along the way as a self-taught pattern artist. And I just, that's where I started. So I just wanted you to know that this grew out of now I'm just embellishing, folks, while I'm talking. This grew out of a love for pattern and pattern art, and out of a desire to help people who were new to figure out things that I found easy and people were finding difficult, that I could help them. And then I just started finding that I just really enjoyed the process of learning the new patterns. That's when the daily patterns started coming out. Right about that same sort of time, I thought, well, I'll start following the daily patterns. This is kind of fun. And then I thought, what in the world did I just get myself into? One whole pattern a day? I didn't mind learning a new pattern a day. That was fun. But, making a video every day, that was a bit of a challenge. So, I've had to learn to manage my time a little bit better, and, do some things that are conducive to my lifestyle, and because you just really don't have 30 minutes every single day in a quiet space to make a video. It just doesn't happen. So I have to draw 2 or 3 videos at a time, sometimes 4. sometimes 7. Every so often I'll have a week where I only have time one day to draw all my videos, which is a grueling schedule. I don't know why I do that, but do it because I'm enjoying myself. If I wasn't enjoying myself, I wouldn't continue. But like I said, I'm just learning along with you, and you know, you get to just follow along my process. At first, if you watch my earliest videos, I just do the pattern quick, easy, simple. I don't make a whole tile. I don't embellish. But to me, that was boring. It's not the way I like to draw. And I just didn't like just doing the pattern. I could have stopped at that first one. Boom, done. 3 minutes. And that just didn't sit well with me, because people were then saying, well, how do you decide what patterns to put together, and this, that, and the other. And so I thought, well, I'll just start doing them as what's called a monotangle. And a monotangle, all that means is that you're only using basically one pattern on a tile. And that's what most of my tiles are. Every so often I'll add another tile or another tangle to a tile. But most of my learning tiles are all monotangles. I must say I really do like this toned paper. This is fun. What do I want to do here? I think I want to color these ones in. So, you know, my channel is different than other people's channels. Some people are certified Zentangle teachers. That's what they do. And that's cool. I'm not. And that's just reality. I am not. And could I be? Probably. I just find that for myself, I do tangling differently depending on my mood, my circumstance, and so forth. And I don't always follow the official Zentangle rules. And since I don't consider myself somebody who does Zentangle per se. I do Tangle inspired art, or I draw tangles. That's why I'm very, very clear to say I'm not doing Zentangle. And a lot of patterns that are on pattern-collections.com, I would not consider Zentangle patterns anyways, because Zentangle has a specific thing. You can go over there and find out exactly the definition of a Zentangle and so forth. But they're very specific, and we end up here at pattern-collections, we can end up with a lot of patterns that look like something. I mean, these are flower-like patterns. We end up with a lot of flower-like patterns. And so, you know, in pure Zentangle, if you drew something that looked, this isn't so bad, but then if I take and decide I want to put a stem in here and make an actual flower out of these, then I have strayed away from the official Zentangle thing. And I've already strayed away because I use an eraser and I use guidelines with pencil. And so, just so you guys know, you know, where I'm coming from. Matter of fact, I'm trying to decide if that's what I want to do. I started out with my lines for my pencil for the string. But I'm not sure that's what I want to do. Not really. No, I don't want to do that. I don't know what I want to do. I want to do something in the background, but it's not that. So string 73 is not, or 74 is not happening for this one. Kind of did. It helped me decide where I was placing my elements, because at the end of each of my things, that's about where my flower-ish shape is, my pattern, whatever this was called. I don't even remember anymore already. What was it called? Dahlidrop. I'm going to do this. I believe this pattern's called Mist. It's basically just some squiggly lines and some dots that kind of resemble like rain falling. It's nothing difficult. Matter of fact, it's perfect for those with a wiggly hand. The neighbor dog is having some sort of fit. Alright, I'm just about done. Like that. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I'm happy with how it's living. D-A-H-L-I-D-R-O-P. Dahlidrop. Okay, and I think I'm going to put a little bit of shading. For sure, I need to shade where this one overlaps that one. And then I'll put probably a little highlighting, and then color done. Oops, I forgot. You guys didn't yell at me. Or maybe you did, and I didn't hear you. Okay. Do. Excuse me. Okay. And then I think I'm going to do around the outsides of all of these shapes, because I want them to stand up from the background. Right now they kind of are flat. Note, I turn my tile a lot so that I can get my pencil where I want my pencil without having to make my hand go a weird shape. I think I want the bigger stump though. I want to really blend this out and go farther out. That's easier to do with my bigger stump. It's like a jumbo stump. I like it. All right. Yep, that helped a lot. And then get my little white pencil and just put some highlights. Those highlights just, there's just something about those highlights. Just make me happy. Okay. I need some more dark in this middle part. Part of the appeal of patterns is the contrast between lights and darks. So if you don't have enough contrast, sometimes your tile doesn't look good. So that's part of what I try to do, is make sure I've got a nice contrast between darks and lights. That feels like it needs a dark, but I don't want to fill in that loop, so I'll just put a little dot there. Better. Okay. It just needed a little something. And then this one's going to have like that. And then I may come back in with dark again on this one on the other side. Yeah, this one needs a little contrast coming from the other side. Just a little. Like that. Pretty. I like those. All right, so you guys have a really great day. I will see you tomorrow. I didn't talk about my weekend, so I'm going to have to do that. And, yeah. You guys have a great day. Go out and do something nice for somebody today. Let's make the world a better place. And you guys have a blessed one. And I will see you later. Bye-bye.